Well, good evening, everyone. This is Tustin Longevity Center, and I am Dr. Ella Thorpe. We here at Tustin Longevity Center are 5 healthcare providers and a staff here to try and present a integrative melding standard of care with complementary medicine and provide for our patients the best outcome with all these options with natural medicine and standard of care. We are not doing this YouTube to replace your time with your doctor, but rather to try and create another venue to talk about natural medicine. Preventive health is always the best. And just let the general community, family and friends have another opportunity to see what maybe an integrative doctor would do as they approach their healthcare. So with that, if you have questions and you are in YouTube, you can type in your question on the right, and I'll scroll down as I see questions come, and then try and give my suggestions to some of these thoughts or questions that you're giving me. You could also email us at Tustin Longevity Center here in Southern California. Email office@tlcdoctors.com. That's plural, DOCTORS. So office@tlcdoctors.com. And then they'll bring those to me. Now, I don't have any email questions tonight, and we'll go from there. So we had some rain, and it was a blessing to have that rain today. What a joy that was to have it here in Southern California. So let's see. Tonight, we start out with a question from Debbie. Debbie says, "Hi, Dr. Rita. Is it true that your magnesium supplements are depleted out of your body if you are stressed all the time? Thank you." Magnesium is, in general, found to be the #1 nutrient mineral that is deficient in most people upon screening tests. Most doctors don't do antioxidant and mineral assays. But yes, magnesium will be depleted more, as if you're under stress and anxious, then you're probably not eating as well, sleeping as well. And with that anxiety in your life and stress, your heart rate will go up. So your metabolic rate will be stressed. And the need of magnesium in so many hundreds of physiologic reactions in the body is enormous every day, every second, every millisecond. So this becomes more and more pronounced as we age. I like to bring up my little foosball or pickleball, and I pretend that each of these holes is like one of these incoming hits from some form of stress in your body into your cell. That's a double layer of phospholipids there. And if you have the phospholipids in here, then I usually take a paper clip with my patient. If that's, let's say, magnesium, and you take it and you bring it into your cell, it's going to fall out. Well, now it's not doing it. Yeah, it fell out now. So I have it here in my hand. And if you have healthy fats in your diet and you wrap that magnesium in the fat, and then you bring it to the cell, and then you have it with this healthy bilipid fat layer, then it'll stay in there longer. So stress will increase often your metabolic requirements, and indeed magnesium will be one of those areas that you need it in. Hopefully that helps. If you get magnesium, you need to get it as an amino acid chelate, meaning the mineral magnesium can be linked to other items, oxides usually, and these are very poorly absorbed. But if it's linked to an amino acid, like if you eat meat or fish or chicken or eggs or clams or oysters and fish and stuff, the mineral is already in these fleshy pieces of food. and that is better absorbed in your body. So they combine an amino acid to the magnesium, and these are called mineral chelates, CHELATES, mineral chelates. So you want to get an amino acid chelate. They're better absorbed. If you don't, if you get a cheap product, you'll probably only absorb maybe 8% of it. Maxine then asked the question, hi, Dr. Rita. Hi, Maxine. Do you recommend taking apple cider vinegar? Apple cider vinegar provides acidity to the stomach, hydrochloric acid, and there's other nutrients in apple cider vinegar. And it does help with digestion. The older we get as people, our ability to produce hydrochloric acid diminishes, our enzyme production diminishes. And so that's why Bragg's amino acids and Bragg's apple cider vinegar has been such a help to so many, many people. So yes, I would say indeed it is a helpful thing. Now we use orthodigestzyme, and that's what I use all the time, orthodigestzyme. One, because the company is a reputable, honorable company, God-fearing leadership, and a high moral, ethical standard. I've been to their plant a couple of times. As a chemist, I've been able to walk through and look at their assays and their samplings and see that they're quite good at this. So orthodigestzyme has betaine hydrochloric acid in it, and it has the enzymes, plus it has ox bile in it, which is very important too in emulsifying your fats. So hopefully that helps you there, Maxine. Linda says, both of my sons get skin cancers and have to have their skin cut out. Okay. What type of protocol do you think they should be doing if they are prone to skin cancers? So I know you, Linda, and I know your age. So I know the age of your sons must be about in their late 20s, early 30s. And so this is probably because they don't have enough antioxidant shielding to diminish the free radical damage. So everything, comes back to this picture over and over and over. So if this is a healthy cell membrane in your skin, and this is sunshine, trauma, damage, viruses, dehydration, too much sugar, anything busting through that double layer is going to create these free little radicals, which create inflammation and pain. And your body is always trying to repair it like this, and that's what we're published in so much. And they've talked to people and marketed and said we should be no fat, low fat, and everyone went to too many sugars, too many starches, too much of a plant-based high carbohydrate diet. And what they have done then is they have raised the insulin, and insulin then stimulates growth. So if you're trying to repair these damaged areas all the time, and you're in a higher carbohydrate diet with insulin, the hormone stimulated, and you're always trying to regrow a healthy membrane here, then that hormone, insulin, a growth stimulating hormone, plus it stimulates fat to be produced, is going to be a stimulus for that person to have excessive growth or abnormal repair. And if it's the skin that's getting damaged so much, you have to lower the carbs. Now, one of the shields, so if you want to have a shield for the radiation coming into the damage and damage coming into the cell, there you have to have a shield up. That shield is what we call antioxidants. Antioxidants are like vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, your coenzyme Q10, your glutathione. And so if you're drinking, you're on a high carb diet stimulating hormone, you're using up your natural antioxidants if you're eating a standard American diet. So another thing that we found is very helpful in raising the antioxidants is the Juice Plus series. Juice Plus is a whole food concentrate of fruits, vegetables, and berries. And it's been around, 27 years or so. I've been on it about 22 years every day of my life. And it slows the damage, it keeps the shields up, and it protects you from the rate of aging. And I use that expression, Linda, where I say, your son is probably a 180-pound roast, 200-pound roast, slowly cooking at 98.6 degrees every day. So we're all, emitting heat from the burn in our engines. And another powerful antioxidant is water. And that's why you have to help your coolant and your delivery system of your capillaries to the skin, to those the deepest reaching cell in your body. That and motion, exercise, good sleep, so many things. But our base here is to emphasize how much water do you drink every day, lower your carbohydrates. Are you getting a good night's sleep? Are you moving your body, exercising? Are you stopping eating at a certain time so that your body has more hours of healing? Nutritively, we usually have everyone on Juice Plus, systemic enzymes to clean away the damaged cell debris that can't be repaired, and giving a good multivitamin nutrient with healthy minerals in it, like magnesium, like the other lady was asking earlier, and vitamin D, because nobody has enough vitamin D today. Geostratospheric engineering is putting out these clouds for decades that have heavy metal oxides in them, strontium oxides, aluminum oxides, barium oxides, and all these things are landing on the ground, and when it's still suspended in the air, it redirects the ultraviolet light. So we're living in a stressful time. So you have to have peace, have a means. For me, it's my Bible and my Bible reading every day, and helps me sleep every night. But then I have to have a cutoff. I have to stay low carb. I have to do some exercise. I have to drink my water. But I do take my Juice Plus every day, my D, my iodine tablet, my multivitamin, my systemic enzymes, and my probiotic. That's pretty much the base consistency of it. That will help your children. That'll help prevent all cancers. Then Susie asked the question, does drinking water with fresh lemon juice count toward the daily requirement? I would say it depends on how much fresh lemon you put into it. If you're turning it into lemonade, then it doesn't count. If you're flavoring your water with a little spritz of lemon juice, I'll say if that is what it takes to get you into a habit of drinking water, then I'm going to say that's fine, Susie. Half your weight as pounds in the number of ounces you drink every day. So if you're a 200-pound man, you need 100 ounces. There's 128 ounces in a gallon, so 2/3 of a gallon for a man. If you're a woman, 150 pounds, 75 ounces. So I've got I have a 2-liter bottle that I drink every single day of my life, plus some. So that's what I have to do. And you just have to, be the adult that you are and do those things, because every good thing matters. I'm not perfect myself, but every good thing you do matters, just like every bad thing you do harms. Every good thing helps. So if a little squirt to flavor it is what you need to do, Susie, please do it. Debbie says, hi, Dr. Rita. Hi, back to you, Debbie, and good to see you again here. I have a 65-year-old girlfriend that has frontal fibrosing alopecia. She has had it for a number of years, and it's getting worse. What causes this? She gets the PRP, which is that plasma-rich platelet injections, but so expensive. True. The cause of alopecia has always been, a concern for many people, mostly men, but there is male pattern balding for women as well. And it's always hard because so much of our image, our our self-confidence is in our appearance. I would say that if she could learn to fast, the stimulation of the same growth factors that are in plasma-rich platelets injected is stimulated with fasting. You would begin with intermittent fasting. That's where you skip breakfast and just have lunch and an early dinner, roughly eating noon to 6 p.m. So your stomach's empty 18 hours a day. And then try and roll into doing a 24-hour fast once a week. And if you could ever do like a 3-day fast or even a 5-day fast every 4 months, all that stimulation of growth hormone, getting rid of all the sugars and stress is very life extending, cleansing to the body, allows the repair of things that should be repaired. Another thing, of course, with drinking enough water is taking systemic enzymes to clean away debris that can't be repaired, and maybe consider EDTA chelation, because that'll help the capillaries in the scalp as well. What causes this this kind of fibrosing of the hair pulp and such? I think these kind of autoimmune phenomena, there is the enzyme dihydrotestosterone that is a feature often seen in male pattern balding. That will go down with doing what I just explained, the intermittent fasting and so forth. A man should stay away from alcohol because that'll promote estrogen. Estrogen will promote feminizing of his body and metabolism. Estrogen mimickers in the environment are there are a lot of them. Even your sales receipts with that little dust on them for the printed out receipts has the BPH on it. So that's an estrogen mimicker that will aggravate it. Aromatase inhibitors that may convert testosterone into dihydrotestosterone. You could take something like saw palmetto. She might try. I know a lot of women take these prostate formulas for men because it's so rich in aromatase inhibitors like saw palmetto, and that could be a help to her as well. So if she fasted and used enzymes and did some cyclical prolonged fasting and drank enough water and maybe did some EDTA chelation and took saw palmetto, all these things would be possibly a help. Hopefully that's something to look at. But just remember, platelet-rich plasma injections, you can get that growth factor through fasting, okay? Then let's see. SM asked this question. My mom gave me some orthomolecular EPA and DHA soft gels. Are these necessary? I'm going to say they're not necessary. If you would eat a healthy, more natural-based diet, we find EPA, DHA needs in the human body are pretty minimalistic. I think an NIH study has pointed out DHA requirements in some parts of the brain and the retina and a very small area in the amount in the testicles. You need about 7.1, 7.2 milligrams a day. And we can make this. You can make your own EPA and DHA through our delta desaturase enzyme systems. But what we cannot make, and that's why it's called essential, is the linoleic and alpha-linolenic acids. These are a omega-3 and a omega-6 fatty acids, and this comes from eating your egg yolks and your meat and your fish and your chicken with the skin on it, and these kind of free-range, prairie-raised, wild-type sources. And then you have to be able to have good digestive enzymes. If you're getting older, you might need betaine hydrochloric acid or maybe some apple cider vinegar to help you digest these things. It's in seeds and nuts, but you're going to have to deal with some of the carbohydrate concerns if you eat too many of those. So I don't believe you need EPA and DHA. I know that in marketing and in undereducated healthcare providers, they have been fooled into thinking that these are essential because the marketing is very clever. Whenever they talk about essential fatty acids, then the next second sentence or two below it, they'll start talking about EPA and DHA, and you'll make the mental jump. If you're not a chemist, biochemist trained enough, you'll make the mental jump thinking that EPA and DHA are essential fatty acids, and they are not. You can make what you need in your body. So hopefully that answers your question there, SM. Yes, Linda is saying how we love the rain, and the rain is so refreshing. I picked up my grandchildren this afternoon from school, and what a joy it was to see their happy giggles and glee running between the raindrops, a brand new infrequent thing. What a joy that was. Marmijo, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Thank you, Dr. Elifar, for all you do. Are you familiar with chlorine dioxide used for an antiviral, antibacterial? Yes, I am familiar with it. Chlorine dioxide is pretty much available over the counter, and many countries have used it. And it does work in that fashion as a antiviral, antibacterial, and I think antifungal as well. Now the question is, do we need this? Have I needed it to prescribe to help my patients? And the answer is no. I've never used chlorine dioxide. I've never recommended it. And the reason for that is not that I'm against it. It's just I have never found that I needed it. With what I have and what we can do with the lifestyle, diet, nutrients that we have, I've never needed to reach out for chlorine dioxide. There is a lot of, I know the health ranger, Mike Adams, has used it anytime he starts to feel he's coming down with something. I don't even know the milligram. I don't even know the sourcing for it that he uses, but I do know people who have used it. And I know people who use ozonated water, things like that, but I've never required it. What we've done is we've really emphasized a lower carb diet because sugars, starches, too many fruit sugars depress your immune system. And when your immune system is depressed, then this is when the bacteria and viruses and funguses can proliferate and take hold. So we emphasize a lifestyle of very low carb because the American diet is so excessively abundant, available with this. And then, as these holiday dates come up, Halloween, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, New Year's dinner, everyone modifies this into a season of giving us excuses for, doing all this eating of the carbs, and we have the money, at least now, to still pay for it. So I am someone that sees people every day of my life for the last 40 years. And people like Mike Adams and the Health Ranger, he is not physically evaluating lab and human beings every day. And the base thing that we need to do is cut the carbs back. And then we have to use some tailored nutrients like vitamin D primarily, a good night's sleep, a good multivitamin mineral. And then as you get older, digestive enzymes, emphasizing some exercise with good sleep, plenty of water. And then if something shows up, usually using Argentine silver as for a cut or in your mouth for a gargle and swallow, nasal spray, mists for the viral pink eye, conjunctivitis. That's what I have found has really been a solution. And that is also because Argentine silver or nanoparticulate silver has been looked at for viral illnesses, even like Ebola. So I've never needed chlorine dioxide. I'm not going to say anything negative against it, but I just haven't had to reach for it. All right. Let's see. What's the next one? Dolphin. Hello, Dolphin. My friend thinks she has COVID because of a possible PCR test result. Does COVID even exist, or does she probably have a seasonal flu? Well, that's an interesting question, Dolphin. You know that they have already proclaimed since June of this year, the CDC has said they are going to stop using the PCR test. And if you recall, they did down estimate all the case studies, estimating as true COVIDs because there were so much false positives from the PCR test. So it's an unreliable test. Therefore, it's a legitimate question to ask whether or not, the runny nose, the sore throat, congestion, low-grade fevers, myalgias, is this COVID? Or is this some other seasonal flu? Therefore, they are going to be stopping using the PCR test as of December 31 for diagnosing, and they're going to have a new test kit, they claim, that will separate between flu and what is considered COVID-19 disease of SARS-CoV-2. You know, in the last 1.5 years, the flu numbers have dropped down to a minuscule number. Normally, we have, easily 300,000-400,000 hospitalizations every year for the flu. And we have somewhere in the realm of between 80,000 deaths to 25,000 deaths a year for the flu. So there's too many questions, too many things that have been retracted from formerly regarded high quality medical journals. So there's a lot of questions out there now, and the healthcare system has really lost a lot of credibility in many of my patients and my own eyes because of these having to retract papers that were published in the New England Journal of Medicine and Lancet over issues concerning COVID and management tests, so forth. So I can understand why there are so many questions. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Yes. Timam Nugent Win. Timam says, hello, the voice is choppy again. And the choppy sound is gone. I can hear again. Okay, well, that's good. Carol says that my voice was cutting in and out. Okay. Debbie says, I am requested to take antibiotics for dental appointments because of a prior heart surgery. Can I take a quality or oregano instead of antibiotics, as I know how bad the antibiotics are for you? Debbie, it would be inappropriate without knowing what the heart disease was, how severe it is, to not take antibiotics, because there is a lot of literature about oral bacteria seeding and getting into the system that goes to the heart. So this is serious business, and I would follow your dentist's advice. And usually the cardiac valvular surgery requires antibiotic prophylaxis. But what you could do, I think, rather would be to take a probiotic that's very strong. We would use, in that situation, if I had a patient who has a prescription of an antibiotic for dental work, I would have them use orthobiotic 225 powder. It's very high dose probiotic powder. It's a packet. You mix it with some water. I would also at the same time have them take Orthospore IG. So there's two kinds of probiotics. And I would do that for a month after the use of the antibiotics. And then I would use a standard orthobiotic, something like that, 1 capsule a day thereafter. This is how we would approach it. But I would never suggest to you, not knowing the situation, that you would not take an antibiotic for your dental work because of heart issues. That's too specific and could be fraught with too many problems. So I would not rely on over-the-counter things like oregano or even Argentine silver. Even though I would recommend Argentine silver as an oral wash and rinse and swallow before the surgery and after the dental surgery. But I would not do that in place of antibiotics. I would use your antibiotics. And then Sean says, hi, Dr. E. What are your thoughts on using nutritional yeast such as the Bragg brand? I understand that this is a good source of B vitamins over synthetic B versions. And I don't have any tests, but I've heard many good things about the amino acid Bragg's brand. And I would say that that's probably a reasonable thing to do. I have the company because I know the company and I know their ethics. We have orthomolecular B complex. They make a very good methylated B complex. I have TLC methyl B complex, the whole broad spectrum. So I would feel good about the Bragg's formula. It's been used a lot. I'd feel comfortable with that. Jennifer says, hi, Dr. Rita. Hi, Jennifer. What do you think of liposomal vitamin C? Is it an oral option for those who can't tolerate as much Vitality C powder? And I would say yes. I would say that we could do lab serum assays of your vitamin C levels. But I like liposomal vitamin C. I like liposomal glutathione. Anything that is a water-soluble vitamin, when they wrap it in these phospholipids that are natural, not the synthetic phospholipids, but the natural occurring phospholipids. And yes, it is a very good product in general. I've only read good things about it. Also, Jennifer asks, do you recommend buying a year's supply of Juice Plus in advance? Well, I've been thinking about that myself, Jennifer, because it is such a well-regarded, and I do believe that research on the polyphenols, the studies that have gone into these are compounds found in fruits, vegetables, and berries, and we have studies on this with Juice Plus that have been very favorable. And the Nobel Prize in medicine is going for the polyphenol research. So I don't know if it's the exact research that Juice Plus has done, but it certainly is comparable high quality research that we have on the polyphenols. So I am looking at considering getting a year's supply of Juice Plus. But you remember, we don't like that to get too old. You don't want to be taking old product. I don't care how well it's made. It will tend to, because it's a food concentrate, to diminish in its potency over time. The other question she has is, last question. You can ask as many as you want, Jennifer. You had done a 36-hour water fast last week, and you forgot to ask, are we supposed to take our vitamins during the fast, and which ones? I take all my vitamins when I do a fast, Jennifer. The only thing I don't take is my orthodigestine because I'm not eating any food. So in the time that I'm fasting, I will take my little bowl of vitamins, and with all the water, because I do drink more water when I'm on a fast, um, I'll spread out my vitamins over that. So yes, I do take them. Timam says, Dr. Rita, I saw you speak at Zito's a few weeks ago, and I instantly knew I had to come to see you for my issues. Well, thank you. I pray that I'm the one that can help you, but there are many qualified people. I called and you're not accepting new patients. Is it possible to see you at some point? I would say yes, but I would see the fine doctors we have here, Dr. Kaur, Dr. Merrick, P.A. Patel. These would be the doctors I would come and see. And we meet every month and we go over clinical issues if we have any problematic patients. We're all voicemailing each other and sending text messages about questions and anything challenging. So get into the system, start seeing the doctors, and if it's absolutely necessary, please ask your doctor to share something with me, and I can review the chart and so forth, and I'd be happy to do that. Let's see. I've done many of the protocols you recommended, low carb, no sugar fasting. And although I shed the excess pounds, I have a host of other issues. Please help. So yes, so come start and ask whoever you see here to share your chart with me, and we'll clinically review everything together, and hopefully we can be a help to you. Linda says, hi again. My grandkids are 5 years old and 7-year-olds. They seem to keep getting ringworm. Any ideas for treatment? That's a fungus of the skin. And so I would be asking the mother to have the pediatrician run their fasting blood sugar and fasting insulin and the hemoglobin A1C and their fructosamine level, fruit sugar levels. I think they're getting into too much sugar and treats and crackers and carbohydrates and starches. And this will promote the growth of the fungus on the skin. One of the best things I found topically for this is to use that Argentine silver. We have it as a gel where you could just use a little pumper and it comes out as a clear gel, and you can rub it on that skin area. But whatever is making it come back and back and back is probably not enough, to, God forbid, that there'd be diabetes, but it certainly is probably too high of an average blood sugar, creating enough, stuff for the fungus to grow on. So that's what I would look into there for them, and so forth. So let's see. I don't see any more questions at the time. So what I'll do is we have our Wednesday, we try and do this twice a week so that we're always staying connected. Wednesday is 9:45 in the morning till 10:15. So it's shorter. It's only a half hour. And we've been talking about 40 minutes. And I will be online then, and you can type things in. Remember, you can write office@tlcdoctors.com. That's office@tlcdoctors.com. And then send that here, and they'll try and get that to us for our Wednesday. I see a question just came in from Wendy. I have a horrible rash under my eyes. What could it be? It's been going on for almost a year. Well, the skin under your eyes, all around your eyes, is a different type of skin from all the rest of your body. And it is easier to be disturbed. I would want to know what kind of makeups you're using, what kind of, only steroid cream helps, but bad for me. Yeah, because that will thin the skin out even more. Again, what I would really do is be low carb, try and go on a fast for 24 hours to 48 hours. And I would put on the Argentine gel around those areas. And you can spray the Argentine into your eyes. And I think you're going to see an improvement because it's antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. But you need to have someone looking at you and seeing what this is. Obviously, you've seen someone to prescribe a steroid cream, but either it's your makeup or as we're getting older, our skin is getting more fragile. If it's possible for you to use natural hormones, that helps thicken up the dermis. Eating a higher protein, collagen-rich diet will help the tissues, along with the estradiol. I take my estradiol that I make here. This is my cream. I take it, and then I take a click or two, and then I rub this over my face every day, so it helps my wrinkles and my skin to stay more hardy and thicker. Maybe the liver. Well, it is internal, but no. I would say you need to see a good, be seen by a doctor, a dermatologist, but also have maybe an integrative doctor who's going to be more critical of your fasting insulin, your fasting glucose, your fruit sugar level called fructosamine, and your triglyceride level. You see, if you're going to have healthy skin, that skin has to have good capillaries, and we lose our capillary with age. It's like you die from the outside in, and if you're going to help repair your skin, you've got to have that skin fed with a good capillary, teensy weeny. If I pulled one of my hairs out and I cut it, 100 times, you can imagine one hair cut longitudinally 100 times. It's so tiny. It's so easy to disrupt if you're not drinking enough water, if you eat some donuts or candy, if you are not taking enzymes, if you're not using hormones, if you're not eating enough protein, collagen. So all these things tend to promote skin depletion and turgor integrity. And I would love to. I wish I could see you and try and help you with that, because we have had such good results with chelation for circulation, microcirculation, the water, the healthy diet, the healthier proteins, topical estradiol cream to the face. All these things can help. Well, I think with that, I'm going to say goodnight and cut this off at 45 minutes today. Please like and subscribe, share with your family and friends, and promote natural health and promote preventative health. Let's get a marriage between standard care and all the wonderful things about allopathic medicine, but all the wonderful things too with natural medicine. And I'll say good night and God bless everyone, and enjoy the rain.